Nothing better than matching up a good single action revolver with a good lever gun, especially in .45 Colt. Now I feel like I'm ready for Bonanza. That's nice.
I like that.
I mean, you got some power, but the recoil is really mild.
Oh, it's almost no recoil at all.
Yeah.
It's very, very soft shooting. I tell you what, talk about a really, really great deer gun.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the south where we live, where we don't really have far shots. Most of the places around here, you're shooting 100 yards and in. It's a great little hunting rifle.
Man, that's just solid when you hear them hit the bottom. It makes a good solid little thump. It just keeps on going. There we go.
That is sweet.
Soft shooting.
That is. It's just no kick at all.
No, it's just beautiful.
That is nice.
Not enough.
Huh?
Not enough.
Hold on. Hey.
They go too quick. Tell you what, when you're used to loading a little tube-fed 22 rifle and you pull this tube out, it's a little bit intimidating.
Now, of course, first thing you want to do is make sure the gun isn't loaded, and it is. Now, one of the big things about the Henry Big Boy is this brass action. I mean, it's beautiful. It really has a vintage look to it, and yet all the internals are really modern. This is a hardened brass receiver, so it can handle about anything you can dish out. And with .45 Colt, you can really work those loads up to pretty close 44 Magnum. Of course, the brass barrel band here and the brass butt plate. But of course, you can see that I have one of the brass stacker leather slings on here. This is a really excellent sling, attaches to your tube and then back here at the back, so you don't really need to get into the wood and drill out any holes. But just has that really classic look with the straight stock. Beautiful American walnut. I mean, they use only American companies to supply their wood, and they get it from all over the country. These are made in Bayonne, New Jersey, and in Rice Lake, Wisconsin. And Henry has really done a great job of getting these rifles out to the market. Of course, we've got this octagon barrel, which really helps with heat dissipation and really keeps that barrel solid. Now, this is the Big Boy rifle and not the carbine. It has a 20-inch barrel. Overall length is 38.5 inches, and it is a good solid about 8.5 pounds, 8.25 pounds. And that's really a little bit heavier than the all steel version. And one of the reasons why is the brass has been beefed up some, and this is a hardened brass, so it's going to be able to take about whatever you can shoot through it. And one of the big things about the Henry is the action, how smooth it is. I mean, they are just slick, very easy to pull back, easy to get those rapid shots and to stay on target. You can get the large loop, which is an option, which is nice, especially if you have gloved hands like I do today, or even large hands. It really helps to get that lever down really fast. The trigger pull on these is also very good. Very crisp, clean, and of course that's typical for most of your lever action rifles. It has been drilled and tapped in the top for a scope, especially if you're hunting. Now for me, I like the classic look. It does have the semi-buckhorn sights. Here you can see the rear sight. It does have an adjustable bar you lift up, and this little ledge just rises and falls according to where you're shooting. To be honest with you, if you're getting out to about 300 yards, you're doing really well. But this rifle's really excels in between 100 and 200 yards. Now the semi-buckhorn sight has a diamond placed right here for you to be able to really match it with the front post. If this is distracting, you can turn this plate around just to have a black field. And then you have your front post, which is driftable, and it does have a brass bead right here at the tip. Now, one thing that a lot of people like and dislike is the tubular magazine. This is really just a larger version of their original Golden Boy and 22 long rifle. And of course, those do really well with the tubular magazine. With this, it has the just the regular tube, and the brass pulls out. Beautiful brass tube, which makes it really slick. Pulls it out to reveal, of course, your loading gate right here. The rounds fall in very easily, and especially with 45 long Colt, I mean, it is really solid. It holds 10 rounds in the tube, and on the carbine versions, it typically runs about 7. But the velocities that you're getting out of the 45 Colt are pretty impressive. Now, this is a 250 grain bullet from HPR. It runs in a revolver 842 feet per second at the muzzle. But out of a 20-inch barrel, it runs 1,050 feet. So you're getting a considerable amount of velocity out of that, which translates a lot into foot-pounds. Here with the 5-inch revolver, we're getting about 385 foot-pounds at the muzzle. But with the rifle, we're getting 575. Now, if you want to up that to plus P, you can really get some heavy loads fired out of this rifle. In fact, up to 1,200 foot-pounds of energy at the muzzle, which is incredible. Makes it a really great hunting round, especially for most of your game here in North America. And yet again, you can have ammo compatibility with your revolver. The big boy comes in .357 Magnum and .38, 45 long Colt, and 44 Magnum that can shoot also 44 Special. I think .357 Magnum is the most favored out of those three. But the 45 Colt really goes back to the roots of America, and that's what I really love about it. It's the reason why I love the single action Black Hawk in 45 Colt. I mean, being able to take a pistol caliber rifle and match it with a sidearm, to me, is just great. The recoil on these is really mild, and it makes it such a pleasure to shoot. Very easy to get back on target. Everyone that shot it just loved it. And we just had a big time. In fact, I've had this for about 4 months, and I've had a lot of my friends to shoot it. In fact, a lot of it we didn't even get on video. But you know, it was shooting really good accuracy out to 100 yards. We were getting about 2-inch groups with no problem. Again, you put a scope on here and you're really going to be able to tell the accuracy, and that's one of the things I have on order right now is one of the rail mounts, one of their Gen 2 scope mounts. I think they run about $30, and so they're very reasonable. But it doesn't really take away from the look with these being drilled and tapped. And because it is it doesn't have the action coming like the old Winchesters, you're able to mount that without having a side mount. One thing that I really like about the Henry are the tangs. Full tang all the way down the bottom and right here at the top. Your serial number's placed right here. Everything with the wood is fit, I mean precise. In fact, these are hand fitted, and Henry takes a lot of pride in making these really an heirloom piece. You know, they run about $899 full retail, but I've seen a number of them for around the $675 range, $680 range. The receiver is very well polished. With the black accents, it makes it really look nice. It doesn't have too much bling to it, in my opinion, even with the polished brass. I know some things can get a little bit gaudy, but it's very tastefully done on this rifle, especially with the barrel band here, and again, with the butt plate. I mean, it's just a really nice accent all the way around. Now, there is a safety built in to the hammer, and it is a transfer bar that blocks the firing pin unless the trigger is pulled all the way back. And of course, that means you're going to try to fire the rifle in the first place. So that, in case you drop the rifle or something happens, it's not going to go off. To me, the lever action rifle is just American. Designed here in the U.S., used in so many different ways to shape our history. In fact, used at the end of the Civil War, also one of the guns that won the West, and even used in hunting, and has been used in hunting for generations. It's just a classic American design. Take a 45 Colt in a lever action, and then you can match it with your single action pistol. And guys, this is a great combination. So the Henry Big Boy in 45 Colt, thumbs way up. Be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.
Wrap all this beautiful brass here up with some camouflage tape.
Yeah, you don't get blood on that.
No.
Let's get this side since we got the background. We got the western background. One thing you'll really notice right away is the black brass. Okay. And yet you can still match it. Crap. That would not be fun.
Like hot brass down the shirt.
Yeah. Be strong, be of good courage. What the flippin' heck?